Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Cantor. You know, one of the accusations against Israel is that we have stolen Palestinian lands. But we're really fortunate today because we have this amazing timeline in the Davidson Center, a museum literally in the old city of Jerusalem, and we can see exactly when Israel supposedly stole Palestinian land. In fact, we're going to go all the way back to 3,300 BC. That's when the Canaanites were here. And then we know that Abraham was called here, and King David established Jerusalem as the capital of Israel in 1006 BC. In 586, we know that Nebuchadnezzar came in. He conquered Jerusalem, destroyed it, took off all the loot from the temple, exiled the people to Babylon. And then in 538, the Persians took over the whole area and eventually let the Jewish people come back to rebuild their temple, to rebuild their wall. And that starts in 515, the Second Temple period. During that time, the Greeks come in and take over for a while. The Jews rise up against the Greek. If you know the Hanukkah story of Judah Maccabee, and for 100 years we had independence until the Romans come in 63 BC. Not long after that, Herod the Great, maybe 20 years before Yeshua, before Jesus, he decided that he wants to take the Second Temple and make it amazing. So he renovates it. And it was amazing at that time until the year 70. That's when the Romans destroyed it. Of course, 40 years before that, we know that is the time when Yeshua came and died for our sins. So between 70 and 324, it becomes under Byzantine rule. Now, something very interesting happened about right here in 135. That is when Hadrian, the Roman emperor, he kicked out all the Jews and he changed the name from this area from Judea to Palestine. So it's very interesting that the certain Arabs today who call themselves Palestinian actually get that name from Hadrian, who adopted that name from the Philistines to get rid of the Jewishness from the area. That's the first time we hear this area being called Palestine. No connection to Arabs. And then, of course, you have the early Muslim period going into the Crusader periods. And then we have these folks that most people have never heard of called the Mamlukim, the Mamluks. And that led to the Ottoman Empire in 1517, the Turkish rule, until World War I. At the end of the war, the British were given control of this area. So we can see up until now, there has never been an independent Palestinian Arab state in this area. And so we know that there has never been any such thing as a Palestinian national Arab state in this region. It's actually a recent invention in the last half a century. Now, what we have here is really, really interesting. This is a real milestone. You know, in our vocabulary today, a milestone is an important moment in our life, but this is a real physical 2,000-year-old milestone, and it commemorates when Titus and his father, Emperor Vespasian, destroyed Jerusalem. You know what's interesting? We can remember them in a dead rock, yet the Jewish people who they tried to destroy actually inhabit this city, living once again. Shalom from the Davidson Center in the Old City of Jerusalem.